Hi there, this is JoCarmel from Quilts-by-Carmel. I am currently working on Corey Yoder's Spring Blossom Block of the Month, and I am using a jelly roll. So right now I'm separating the jelly rolls that I see in her online on her website, corianderquilts.com. So I'm going to identify the ones she's using. I'm going to starch them, and then my plan is to make the flowers. I'm super excited. I hope it works out. I have the green for the stems. It's already been starched. It's just drying at this time. So here we go. Okay, so I've decided to use the jelly roll strips, as I said, for this block of the month by Corey Yoder. This is her website, corianderquilts.com, and that's where I went and I'm working from. So I've selected 22 of her 2.5 inch strips from her Jelly Roll Spring Book Blossoms. And I have about 18 left over, and I think what I'm going to do is I am going to probably make a coordinating pillow to go with the quilt once it's done. Right now I'm just going to starch them and pray that they don't shrink too much. And then from there I'll start making my blocks. Okay, on to my next step. I have starched and ironed my 2.5 strips, and now I'm at the point where I'm going to make the center of the flowers. And it looks like I need 4 2.5 square half square triangles for each flower. So I'm going to use the tube method to get those 2.5. So I'll sew half of the white strip to the blue and half of the white strip to the green, and then cut out my half square triangles. And I should have enough left over to do a 2.5 inch square for the center. So that's where I am. Next, I'll show you the surrounding flower. Thanks. So after playing with it for a minute, I figured out what worked out best for me, and this is the Lox Bar Center block. So it's just the center of those two blocks. So I took the half of the 2.5 inch strip, so I cut them in half, and then before I did my tube, I cut off 4 of each 2.5 inch blocks. So they're right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that I'd have enough to do the actual block, the white, my background in. And then I'll take these two, sew them up into a tube, use my strip club ruler, and get my 2.5 inch squares. And this is the end result. I have 3 leftover 2.5 inch blocks, and I think that's pretty good. It's not a lot of waste, so I'm excited to see if I can continue to use my jelly roll or my 2.5 inch strip roll to complete this quilt. And that's again this quilt by corianderquilts.com. It's a block of the month, and we're on the first row. Okay. Okay, I'm on the outer border of the center flower, and I just wanted to show you all my leftovers. I'm using a jelly roll to do this quilt along the coriander quilts. Spring Brook Blossoms quilt along, or block along, block of the month, sorry. So I've cut these 2.5 by 3.5, and this is all that I have left over. So I have 8 left over, and this is what's left over in my 2.5 inch strip. And I've also cut the leaves ready. I realize I'm going to need a lot more backing, So hopefully I'll be able to use all the same backing. If not, I'll just use a white on white for different flowers.